Dear parents, welcome to the RGPS e-booth presentation. Today, we'll be sharing with you a bit more about GEP at RGPS. This is the briefing outline. We'll start with an introduction, followed by the opening address by the principal, information on RGPS, an overview of GEP at RGPS, and a sharing by ex-students and parents. Let me introduce the school leaders and key personnel. Our principal is Mrs. Yu Yokman, but from 2022 onwards, it will be Mrs. Elaine Kwek. Our vice principals are Mrs. Tan Mei Chuan and Ms. Kong Su Mei. Our HOD GP for Math and Science is Mr. Pan Wai Man, and our HOD GP for English and Social Studies is Mrs. Elaine Chong. I shall now call upon our principal, Mrs. Yu Yokman, to give her welcome address. Mrs. Yu, please.
Good morning, parents. I'm Mrs. Yu Yokman, Principal of Raffles Girls Primary School. Thank you for visiting us at our e-booth and considering RGPS as a school for your daughters. While the GEP curriculum is common across the 9 centers, each of us is different because our school culture is unique due to the school's history, focus, and student profiles. In RGPS, each child is valued for herself. We strive to grow a community of creative thinkers, lifelong learners, and value-based leaders, where we all work towards building a better life for others. This outward vision is what we hope each RGPS girl will graduate with. Then they will be a force of good for the nation and live truly purposeful lives. If this resonates with you and your daughters, I welcome you to join us at RGPS. Have a restful holiday and stay well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Yu. We shall now move on to sharing by student representatives, Amelia, Victoria, and myself. I'm Cindy, and I've been at RGPS for the past 6 years. Initially, I was worried that my mainstream friends might treat me differently because I joined the GEP. However, I soon realized that there was nothing to worry about. My mainstream friends and I could still get along well and spend time together, allowing me to have a wonderful experience at RGPS. Being GEP allows me to learn about the different subjects more thoroughly. Instead of just knowing a concept, I could learn about the concept and why it works. A good example is GEP Math. Contrary to popular belief, GEP Math is not about lots of memorization. It is more about applying the concepts. GEP is also unique, with many programs specially tailored for us. RGPS has made my GEP experience even more special with the wonderful school culture here. A great aspect of RGPS is allowing us, the pupils, to take the lead and organize our own activities. Examples of student-initiated projects include many VIA projects, the GEP Fair, and of course, this GEP e-Open House. Being part of this planning team has taught me the importance of taking initiative and many other values too. RGPS also encourages our holistic development and allows us to become value-based leaders. So how has my experience in GEP at RGPS shaped me? It has taught me to always delve deeper into each concept, and it has allowed me to take the initiative to carry out my own plans. I've had a wonderful experience in GEP at RGPS, and I would definitely encourage your child to join us. Thank you. Now, let's invite Amelia for her sharing.
I'm Amelia from 6Q. I'm very lucky to have enjoyed 6 years here in RGPS. In GEP, we go more in-depth into topics. Work is harder, but I view it as challenges. Everyone has potential, and GEP at RGPS brings that out. Learning here is fun and creative. For example, in P4, we translated the song A Million Dreams into Chinese. For science, we built models of plants out of straws and tape to see what root structure was the most effective in anchoring the plants to the ground. In P5, we wrote and performed fan fictions on The Giver and wrote our own mystery stories. This year, we had a math project at the start of the year, and I chose to research into and solve logic puzzles before creating my own Slytherin puzzle. More importantly, the RGPS school culture is very supportive. RGPS teachers are passionate and go the extra mile for us. The GEP cohort is also very close-knit, so help is always easily available. In RGPS, there's no need to worry about unhealthy competition and unfriendly classmates. Fewer than half of us are from RGPS, and pupils from the same school may be put in the same class in P4. Making friends with other GEP pupils is relatively easy as we have plenty of bonding activities for us to get to know one another better. We are also put into groups and our seating arrangement is changed every term, so we have chances to make new friends. From experience, pupils we are first grouped with tend to become our close friends. Our friends will also help us with whatever we need. For example, should we have issues coping with schoolwork, our friends will be the first to lend a hand. With good time management skills, there will be no issues with coping with the work at all, because here in GEP, time management is key. In school, we learn to plan and prioritize, greatly reducing stress. Character development and attitude are emphasized greatly too, leading to a holistic learning environment which nurtures women of excellence, leaders of character and service. In all, GEP at RGPS has helped me to grow in knowledge and character, and I hope it will help your child too. Thank you. Next will be Victoria, who will be sharing more about her experience in GEP.
My name is Victoria. I was from CHIJ OLQP and I joined RGPS at P4 in 2019. At first, I was excited and nervous, unsure of what to expect in a brand new environment. However, I soon realized that coming to RGPS was one of the best choices that I've ever made. During the first 2 days, our orientation program made the new environment comfortable, and it was extremely easy to call RGPS my second home after just a single week. After the first 2 days, when the unfamiliar was made familiar, making friends was not an issue. I have had numerous learning and leadership opportunities to help me reach my fullest potential at RGPS. At RGPS, take the initiative and many doors of opportunity will open for you. One of my favorite programs is our individualized study option. ISOs refer to the wide range of project work options available to GEP students in Primary 5. I participated in the Future Problem Solving program for global issues problem solving and scenario writing. This school-initiated program gave us the opportunity to look into eye-opening topics like gamification. I was honored to attend the international conference this year, and these experiences significantly enriched my journey in primary school. Besides these opportunities, the nurturing environment we have also adds on to the enriched GEP curriculum. Here, we have strong support from our like-minded friends and our caring teachers who have years of valuable experience. RGPS has an excellent student leadership program. Despite joining the school only in Primary 4, I was given ample opportunities to show my leadership qualities. I was appointed as a prefect at the start of Primary 5 and am now a member of the executive committee. Most importantly, these 3 years at RGPS have allowed me to become an all-rounded pupil who is a lifelong learner, a value-based leader, and a creative thinker. Thank you, and we hope to see your child at RGPS next year.
Let's move on to the history of RGPS. RGPS was established as a full-fledged primary school in 1959 and one of the 2 primary schools to pilot the gifted education program in 1984. Our school mission is nurturing women of excellence, leaders of character and service, while our school vision is a vibrant community of creative thinkers, lifelong learners, and value-based leaders. Our school values include creativity, graciousness, gratitude, integrity, responsibility, and resilience. We adopt a student-centric, values-driven approach in the holistic development of our students. Besides giving them a firm foundation in literacy and numeracy, we provide an enriched curriculum in both the academic and co-curricular with a strong emphasis on character development.
Here are some distinctive school programs at RGPS. The first program is the Creative Problem-Solving Approach in Values in Action. We can apply skills learned from CPS to identify needs of our community and explore ways to meet these needs. Another program is the Applied Learning Program, which nurtures confident communicators. These programs include MUO, Newsmaker, and Impromptu Speech. The third program is the Learning for Life program, which develops creativity to collaborative music making. It strengthens our creative and collaborative skills by allowing us to make music together with different musical instruments. Another distinctive school program is the Raffles Experience program. This is an interest-based experience for P3 to 5 students on RE days.
We can pick up a new skill, and this spurs us to have a greater motivation to learn. Last but not least, we have the ICT coding program. These include coding classes for P1 to 5 pupils to complement Singapore's push to be a smart nation. Next up is an overview of GEP at RGPS. Our distinctive GEP programs at RGPS includes ISO, VIA, CEP, and the People Development Program. More details are available at our school website under Gifted Education Program. The first distinctive GEP program is ISO, or Individualized Studies Options. ISOs are offered to P5 GP pupils and include IRS, IVP, and FPSP. The first ISO is IRS, or Individualized Research Studies. It allows pupils to set individual research goals, plan strategies, and critique our own work. We get to research into a topic we are interested in and find explanations to some problems. Let's invite Alicia of 6Q to share on her IRS experience.
Hi, I'm Alicia Chan from 6Q 2021. Today, I'd love to share with you more about my IRS experience. IRS, which stands for Individualized Research Study, is an ISO, Individualized Study Option, offered in Primary 5. It requires you to work on a research project individually based on your own interests. Research methods include surveys and interviews, and the basic skills you'll need to do your project are taught in Primary 4. I decided to research on chainmail and used a different research method called discourse analysis because it was the most suitable for the topic that I chose. The whole process took about 8 months with the guidance of my teacher mentor. When I completed my research, I presented it using PowerPoint to my peers and teachers. I was also chosen to go for the IRS exhibition along with some of my peers in 2020. Due to the pandemic that year, the exhibition was conducted online. I recorded a video of myself presenting my slides and answered some thought-provoking questions about my project from GEP officers over Zoom. I thoroughly enjoyed this session, and I'm greatly honored to have won a gold award for my presentation in the IRS exhibition. Of course, this program is not without its challenges. Low response rates for surveys, inconsistent experimental data, and even the fluidity of the COVID-19 situation are just some of the obstacles that could impede your progress. However, if you run into these problems, do not worry. Don't hesitate to approach your mentor for guidance if there's anything you're unsure about. In sum, I would like to encourage all of you to keep an open mind. There are always valuable skills you can learn no matter which ISO you choose. I hope you will treasure this learning experience and above all, enjoy the IRS journey. Thank you.
The second ISO is IVP, or Innovation Program. IVP exposes us to critical thinking, ideas generation, development of prototypes, problem solving, and experiences beyond the classroom. We get to investigate into a daily problem and invent something to solve it. Next up, let's invite Banisha of 6P to share on her IVP experience.
What I like about IVP is how we're actually supposed to work together as a team to overcome the problems that we are assigned to. For example, for me, my team was supposed to overcome like messy cables, because sometimes when we have messy cables, it's a bit of an obstacle. So at first we were really confused because we didn't know what to do. We work as a team because, as they say, 2 heads are better than 1, and we went to the root cause of the problem, and together we created our prototype. I also learned like resilience from IVP because our first prototype wasn't really as we expected. It was actually quite bad, but then like our teachers and our mentors, they encouraged us, and then they gave us motivation. So after that, we worked, we thought more, we thought better and more creative ideas. And then in the end, we persevered and we eventually overcame that problem, and we made an extremely nice prototype, which I still have to date. Like, it's in my house, I use it, and it's actually really effective. I also feel that I also like how most of the people in IVP, like, they motivate each other and help each other. Because for us, I don't think I'll be able to do, like my partner and I don't think we'll be able to do what we had done without like motivation from our mentors and our peers. So I feel that that's also like a very important and fun thing that we do in IVP. And I feel that one of the most fun things that we had during IVP is when we went to the fair. Like it was an online fair and we were supposed to like vote for our favorite ideas. And then my team's one got selected and the whole class was like spamming the votes, and it was really like cool, like really motivating that so many people wanted us to do well, and like our teachers were also saying that we had done really well and motivating us. I feel like that's also something I like about IVP. So I feel like all in all, I feel that IVP actually teaches us many things. And it's not only resilience and perseverance, but also a lot of creativity involved, because if you're not creative, you can't find like the root cause and make interesting solutions to the problems. And it really made me think a lot. And that creativity that I learned from IVP is still, that I still apply it in my normal days, because nowadays when I see like a problem, I see something and I always use my IVP skills to overcome it. So I feel like I have learned a lot from IVP. Thank you.
Last but not least, we have FPSP, or Future Problem Solving Program. FPSP exposes us to critical and creative thinking skills, problem-solving strategies, teamwork, and leadership skills. In fact, Amelia, Victoria, and I were in the same team in FPSP, and we definitely had a lot of fun coming up with creative solutions to future problems. Thank you. Amelia will now share on our other distinctive programs.
In GEP at RGPS, we focus both on academics and character development. Our 3-year VIA program covers the building of content knowledge, developing effective depth, and contributing to society and personal growth. In P4, our focus area was loving animals, loving the community. We partnered with SPCA to reach out to the RGPS community. In P5, our focus area was loving people, loving the community. We partnered with Chaoyang School to reach out to Chaoyang pupils. This year, our focus area was loving the environment, loving the community. We reached out to the P1 cohort of RGPS to tell them more about what they could do to save the environment. This is more about what we do during VIA. In primary 4, we had a jumbled sale to raise funds, also known as the GEP Fair. On the day of the GEP Fair, we came to school dressed as fictional characters and sold our handmade items to the pupils of RGPS. All proceeds from the sale went to SPCA. In P5, we had a buddy reading program where we read books to the Chaoyang pupils and played board games with them afterwards based on the books. This is the Children's Day Carnival, which our seniors used to organize for the Chaoyang pupils. The carnival was the highlight after months of planning, budgeting, and fundraising. The pupils basically designed interesting games and activities for the Chaoyang kids to ensure that their Children's Day would be memorable. Thirdly, we have the Computing Enrichment Program, also known as CEP. The aim of this is to equip students with the competencies to navigate and thrive in today's digital world, and to nurture students to use technology in safe, responsible, and ethical ways. Basically, in CEP, we learn how to code. For example, in primary 4, we learned how to code using microbit. CEP is compulsory for all P4 and 5 students. Next, we have pupil development programs at RGPS. The objectives of these programs being to provide students with enriching experiences in different areas such as nature, music, and art appreciation, opportunities to learn more about ourselves and others through activities outside the classroom, and opportunities to engage in activities which promote an active and healthy lifestyle. For example, we have Dialogue in the Dark, which took place at the end of primary 4. We learned what life was like as a visually impaired person. We also have team building courses, nature walks, music and art courses, visits to museums, concerts, and outdoor cooking, etc. This is outdoor cooking, which has been a favorite for many of the previous cohorts. During outdoor cooking, we basically learn to cook with whatever essentials that we are given, and of course, the most exciting part is eating what we have cooked. This is actually the highlight of the post-PSLE activities. We also have Science Center excursion. Ours took place at the start of primary 5, went to the Science Center to learn more about cells. We also have music workshops, and this was actually a post-PSLE activity for us. We learned how to write songs and rap. Also pond study workshops, sewing, Chinese opera, and tote bag design workshops.
This is Physics to Excite at NUS, which is another one of our favorite activities. Here we get to enjoy hands-on activities and learn about physics at the same time. We get to learn more about liquid nitrogen, sound, molecules, and so on.
These are the nature walks which take place at the end of Primary 4. During the nature walks where we go to Sungai Buloh Wetland Reserve, besides the chance to exercise, we also get to learn about the flora and fauna in Singapore as every group is accompanied by a guide.
These are more music workshops where we groove with guitars and ukuleles, learn more about rhythm, and about the different types of drums. We also have clay modeling, beading, sewing, and mosaic craftwork workshops. In GP at RGPS, we have an average of 50 GP pupils in P4, 5, and 6 each, with a total of 18 GP teachers. This is the breakdown of GP classes in 2022. For P4 2022, there will be 4 mixed form classes with an estimated GP total enrollment of 50 pupils. P5 2022, there will be 4 mixed form classes with a GP total enrollment of 40 pupils. P6 2022, there will be 4 mixed form classes with a GP total enrollment of 50 pupils. This is the mixed form class structure. Pupils are grouped into 4 mixed form classes with the mainstream pupils, ratio being 2 GP pupils to 3 mainstream. Lessons in mixed form classes include PE, Art, Music, CL for GP pupils who opt for CL, and form teachers guidance period. These are the lessons in mixed and intact GP classes. Intact GP classes which follow the GP curriculum include English language, mathematics, HCL, science, social studies, and character and citizenship education. Integrated classes which follow the mainstream curriculum include CL, physical education, art and craft, music, Malay language, and Tamil language. The objective of the mixed form class structure is to promote greater interaction among GP and mainstream pupils so that we can all play, learn, and grow together. Thank you. Victoria will now share more on other intermingling experiences.
Some other intermingling experiences at IGPS include co-curricular activities, school leadership programs, field trips, school camps, peer-to-peer programs, inter-school competitions, etc. Here are the school hours for curriculum hours, remedial classes, and CCA. Please take note of them. Here are the respective timings for recess, snack, and lunch. We will have 30 minutes for recess, snack time will be around 12 noon, and lunch will be from 1:30 p.m. to 2:10 p.m. Some of the after-school activities include CCA, remedial lessons for GP subjects, which are only for selected pupils, P4 IRS, CP, and Math Olympiad training for those who sign up. Here are some important dates to take note of. There will be the emailing or mailing of the letter with necessary documents to P4 GP pupils for 2022 at around the end of December this year. During the first 2 days of school, we will have P4 orientation for the pupils and the P4 parents briefing session in term 1, which will be held either in week 1 or week 2. Please look out for a package with the necessary documents like the book list, school uniform order form, school bus information, name tag form, etc. And these will be mailed or emailed to all incoming P4 GP pupils by the end of December this year. The orientation program for students will be held during the first 2 days of school, and it will include ice-breaking activities, subject briefings, CCA talk, a school tour, etc. At RGPS, we offer 17 CCAs, including 5 sports and games, 2 uniform groups, 5 clubs, and 5 aesthetic CCAs. All students are strongly encouraged to take up a CCA offered by the school. For students who participate in sports and games that are not offered by RGPS, the school will support these students in the national school games organized by the Singapore Primary School Sports Council if they are interested to compete. However, the training hours will not be recognized by the school. More details on CCA 2022 are available at our school website under Gifted Education Program e-Open House. If you have any other queries on CCA, please email our HOD for PE and CCA, Madam Sharifa, at the email below. You can find more information about our student care service at RGPS at the link below. You may also contact the school transport provider for more information about our school bus service using the details below. So, where can you get more information on GEP at RGPS? You can visit our GEP e-Open House from 8 December to 31st December this year at our school website. Should you have further queries on GEP at RGPS, you can contact our GEP HODs, Mr. Pan and Mrs. Chong, at their respective emails. Now we'll have a sharing on GEP experience by a former pupil and a parent.
Hi everyone, I'm Fatima. I was in RGPS from 2009 to 2011, and I'm currently a third-year medical student at NUS. So how has my experience at RGPS shaped my growth as an individual? Well, firstly, I developed better work ethic. I learned to be consistent in my work, not develop complacency just because I had certain capabilities, and it's ultimately taught me how to continue to use my gifts sustainably in the long run. I think I also developed better character as I learned to remain humble, collaborative, and caring towards those around me. And all this was only possible because of the close guidance and attention of the teachers towards the holistic development of each and every one of the students. And when I say holistic development, I don't mean just ensuring that our grades were up to mark for every single subject. I mean our character, our work ethic, our interpersonal relationship. There were frameworks in place to help the teachers monitor each student, but I believe that the teachers really went above and beyond those frameworks to nurture us to the best of their abilities, and I'm very, very thankful to them for that. What were my greatest takeaways from RGPS? I think one thing that has stayed with me for a long time is the emphasis on using our potential to do good. When we come into RGPS at this age, that's what we have. We have potential. And ultimately, we could leave this potential undeveloped, or we could develop it to do bad, or develop it to do good. And I'm so glad we were taught to develop it to do good, because the roots of community service that were set in me in RGPS remain a very big part of who I am today. I think one of my fondest memories of my time at RGPS was a tuning program we had with the school in Kelantan in conjunction with the first Youth Olympic Games. It was an amazing opportunity to work with students outside of the gifted education program and outside of Singapore too, because we had pen pals in our tuning school in Kelantan. And ultimately, when our friends from Malaysia came over, the teachers gave us a lot of freedom and ownership in planning activities for them. And alongside visiting the actual Youth Olympic Games village, it was really a very memorable experience.
Hello parents, welcome to RGPS. My daughter has benefited greatly from the GE program at RGPS. She's since graduated and is currently studying at Nanyang Girls High School. While she was in the program at RGPS, I must say it has really been a very enriching experience for her. Aside from the exposure to the wide range of text types of issues that keeps them really engaged and interested, it was also the soft skills, the critical thinking skills that I feel benefited her the most. Through the debates, through the many sessions of discussion during class, it has helped hone their thinking skills and even their processing and on logic thinking, which I think is very crucial, and it would actually help in the later formative years. So aside from taking care of the academic needs over at school, one major part that I feel my daughter has been really fortunate is that she had team of very caring teachers. So especially during her graduating year, I think the great output during a P6 PSLE was definitely the efforts of the teachers that took her during the year. It was through engaging them, teaching them the various techniques and all that helped her perform her best during the exams. So we are very, very grateful, and with that I hope you parents would have as great a learning experience and journey with your daughters as we did over at RGPS. All the best.
We have come to the end of the presentation. Thank you for your kind attention. We hope that your daughter will join RGPS for the wonderful GEP experience.